Hello everyone, I am Walt, and today we are talking about the scam of perfectionism. It is a beautiful summer's day here, which means lots of insects and whatnot, but still, I'm going to power through and do this video for the Enlightened Life series and whatnot. So let's dive into the perfectionism scam. What is this that I am talking about here with a scam and with perfectionism specifically? So, really, this is kind of just getting into the idea that from an early age, we get scammed by nearly everybody in our life, okay? And this isn't like, some kind of phone scam. This isn't an internet scam. No. This is kind of just like a mental scam. We get scammed into this kind of mindset that everything has a perfect way to do it and that we can't measure up to that. So basically, from an early age, think of it from a teacher's perspective. Now, this is not an intentional scam necessarily, so I'm not blaming the people who do this because most of them who are doing this don't know the kind of scam they are running. But basically, what happens is from an early age, we are given standards by others that are impossible to meet. So basically, we're expected to do something that is impossible, a task that is like, score this well on the standardized test, get 100 here. Do this thing right the first time without instructions. Know this thing, do this thing. Basically, people have an imagination that likes to run a little bit wild, and that's all good, where they kind of think of all the things they want. They imagine, okay, and the dishes will be cleaned and put away, and this thing will work out this way that I want it to. This other thing will play out like this. I'll have this thing, and then this thing will work out, and this person will do this thing. Basically, everybody kind of has an image of how they want stuff to go, because this is just natural to do it. But then, from an early age, people go with this kind of idea of what they want you to do and then measure you against that standard. So, for example, a parent wants their kid to do this one thing, so they might get upset with the kid when they're not doing this, and they're not bothering to use operant conditioning here or, the right kind of techniques for getting certain behaviors they desire. Oftentimes, people just get upset because something is not gone the way they would imagine it to go. And so from an early age, we're scammed into this belief that everything has a perfect and that we keep not measuring up to it, when in fact nothing can ever truly be perfect. Okay, perfect is something that does not exist, and basically the belief that it exists stops us from being good enough, and from enjoying our lives. Okay, because really almost all of our fear comes from this problem, because we are instilled with this early childhood belief in perfect, that there is a perfect standard, And this is kind of just how it goes, because from an early age, teachers, parents, and everybody in your life is basically going to do this. They're going to have this idea that everything needs to be perfect, Now, some people are a little easier going than others, but everybody's basically been instilled with this kind of belief. And one of the ways that it really is useful and why it exists and why it continues to exist, regardless of people knowing about it, is just because it is a good control mechanism, okay? It is entirely a control mechanism, because, for example, if somebody has a perfect expectation, they tell somebody else they're not meeting that person is going to feel bad, they're going to feel guilty, they're going to have that kind of emotion or response to it, like, I tried my best but it wasn't good enough. They have some kind of success and somebody's like, no, but you should have been able to do twice as much, you should have been able to do this, you should have been able to do that. And it's a control mechanism that works like that, because one person then feels bad about not living up to a certain expectation, and that gives the other person more power, okay? Because the other person's in a weakened state by something like guilt, by thinking, oh, I tried to do something perfect and I didn't make it, I didn't live up to the standard. So it's like, the kid wants to go and they are first learning to read and stuff. And teacher's like, no, you're not fast enough at reading. You're not doing this right, And this is then the kid's going to feel a little bit upset by this or a little ashamed. A bunch of guilt is going to show up and all this kind of stuff because they want to do it perfectly. But the thing is, there is no perfect, okay? It's entirely a scam where thereby, when they do this and they feel a little bit bad and stuff, then they'll continue to do this kind of stuff over and over over and over again. And it's all just a scam that works like that, because it gives whoever says, I have this perfect expectation, you're not living up to it, it gives that person an almost godlike power, because it is their vision that is being executed by the people, and them telling those people that they're not good enough at this. But this will also make you miserable. It's not a good way to get power. It is a very bad kind of method for you and for everybody. So once you kind of realize that so much of fear is just this perfection scam we get hit with from an early age, that there's such a thing as a perfect thing, and that it should play out just like this when there's no way to control those variables, that is the scam. And once you realize this, and that it's simply a control mechanism that can be used on children at an early age and such, then you can realize how to begin to break free of it and not to condition the next generation to have the same problem. Anyway, I am Walt. Check out my stuff on Amazon if you would like to. Otherwise, watch the kind of videos here, like, subscribe, any of that kind of stuff helps. And I'll enjoy these flies here and mosquitoes and all that fun. And I'll see you guys next time with the next video. So stay tuned. I'll see you then.